There's now footage emerging of President Biden talking to the press, giving a press conference about his attempts to reach Donald Trump and his condemnation of the shooting. Ivanka Trump has also said that she is horrified. I continue to pray for our country. I love you, Dad, today and always. He'll never stop fighting to save America. And she thanks God for the fact that her father is alive, adding that political violence is never the answer. And this is much the same sort of content that President Biden has put out. I've been briefed on the shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania. I'm grateful to hear that he's safe and doing well. I've been praying for him and his family and for all those who are at the rally. We await further information. Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service for getting him to safety. There's no place for this kind of violence in America. We must unite as one nation to condemn it. It's sick, sick. Kamala Harris has said she's relieved that Donald Trump was not seriously injured. And she talks about this senseless shooting. It's elicited a range of emotional responses from his family, from political leaders, but in so many ways, President Biden has emphasized that so far he has opinions and he doesn't want to speak fully until he has facts. I'm not sure he has that luxury. Ivanka Trump has expressed her gratitude to the Secret Service and law enforcement, highlighting her continuous prayers and showcasing her father's resolve by pinning a striking image of Trump with the caption emphasizing his relentless fight to save America. Tiffany Trump thanked God for her father's safety and condemned political violence, reaffirming her father's commitment to fighting for the USA. Biden also, when he was addressing this incident, talks about a sick act of violence, the relief that Trump is unharmed, the importance of national unity in condemning such violence, reflecting on the need for civility in public discourse. And then Vice President Kamala Harris echoes these sentiments, emphasizing her relief about Trump's safety and extending prayers to all those affected. And in fact, it was striking how President Biden kept repeating the point that there were other people injured in the shooting. The incident underscores the volatility of the current political climate and the imperative for leaders and citizens alike to denounce violence unequivocally. I think that shouldn't just be limited to America. I think that's a condemnation which needs to be put out globally, and we need to be more mindful of precisely the civilized political discourse, and how to engage in that, because so often people just look for the headlines, or they in YouTube they just read they just read the title or look at the thumbnail, and then they're busy writing comments without having listened or looked at the content, and you think this is a very strange world, and people think you belong to one camp or the other. So if you say anything which is nuanced, it gets misinterpreted or misaligned because it doesn't fit in with people's very tribal attachments, and we need to break that tribal mentality. It's really important, and when people behave badly, we need to be able to say they've behaved badly. We need to be able to poke fun at them, but and censor them, but not to wish them harm in any way. and not to promote harm in any way. The political life, public life, is a difficult call, and people are in it for different reasons. Some may be in it to help. I hope most of them are. Some are in it to line their own pockets, I'm sure. Some have fallen into this life by accident. Some want to get out of it. Whatever the motivation, the fact is they are there at the moment. And they need our support. Even if we are critical of what they're doing, they need our support. And because this level of violence is like a disease, it's a form of evil. And we see that evil enacted in Eastern Europe. And it doesn't stop. And it infects everything, good and bad alike. And yes, I'm only too quick to say that President Putin has crossed the line from foolishness into evil, from life into death. He has abandoned humanity. But the problem is that spirit of an indifference to humanity, an indifference to life, is infectious. The Prigozhin spirit, the Prigozhin paramilitaries active in Ukraine from 2013, 2012 onwards, fermenting hate. That hate is expressed all the way through the whole thing. So yes, you get Ukrainians who are acting appallingly, you get Russians who are acting appallingly, because they are spurred on by this single-minded hatred, which in that case comes initially from the Kremlin. So the Kremlin must be held responsible. And it's no good saying, oh, the Azov battalion. Maybe, but it was the Prigozhin paramilitaries who were put there by Putin on a nod and a wink. And you can't control what happens. It's like gossip. There's a wonderful TV program with Dawn French which articulates very well the way you cannot control the evil you let out, even if it's not intentional. Even if you say something foolish, you cannot control the way those words, the way those actions are used and distorted and twisted, and how people make them their own in their own malign way. You cannot control it. It's back to the story of the curé d'Ars who, for a confessional penance, told somebody to go and pluck a chicken. And then when she brought it to him, he said to her, well, now go back and pick up all the feathers. And she said, that's impossible. And he said, yeah, absolutely, it's impossible. Because you cannot control the way your gossip is spreading. You cannot control, similarly, the way violence spreads. And violence spreads. And war spreads. And viciousness spreads. And politics doesn't need to be fought on those grounds. Politics is about... One of the things I like so much about the opening of Parliament and why Farage gets it so wrong, and Ed Davey, both of them get it completely wrong, is because it's an opportunity for parliamentarians to recognise that no matter which side of the political debate they're on, they're all in the same business. And because Farage is a newcomer, he gets it wrong. Because Davey is so obsessed with resetting the clock and trying to get everyone to forget his stupidity and his imbecility when he was in control of the post office. He's over-egging the omelette. He's more interested in himself than in that sense of camaraderie in the chamber of the House of Commons. And that is where he gets it wrong. That is where Farage gets it wrong. And that is where you have very few opportunities, but they mount up. There'll be another one coming on Wednesday when with the state opening of Parliament, when the leaders of both parties will be able to walk down the corridor together from the House of Commons to the House of Lords and engage in chit-chat. And there's plenty there, because they're in the same business. And occasionally that doesn't work, but occasionally it does work. And it's for those moments when it works that it needs to be saluted and praised. And similarly, I take heart from the thought that the President of the United States called his adversary and talked to him. And now it's now confirmed that Biden has in fact spoken to Donald Trump. We don't know what they said, but it's confirmed that they've spoken. And more of that must be good.